Welcome Beyond Time at Glastonbury Radio 432. This is your host, Maestro Ejecat Tezcalipoca. Today, we will travel with the mothers and fathers of the multiverse. Relax. Sit back comfortably on your chair. Look at the screen if you like, and travel as we go along into the multiverse, an existence that is beyond time, not within this reality of your present existence. A moment of rest, of meditation, of understanding that the mother and the father is always with you. The duality of the Creator. So take a deep breath and exhale. Relaxing your body, letting yourself go, letting yourself be free of your own existence. Letting yourself be. The self without the physical self. Letting yourself relax. Breathe in. Let the white light come through you. Through your whole body. Through your whole being. Through every muscle as it travels through from top to bottom. From your crown chakra, the top, as it travels all the way down to your feet. Whether you're laying down or whether you're sitting, let it travel slowly as you breathe in and you exhale. At your own pace, as you watch before you the traveling of the cycles of no time. Of no time as it really is, with the nebulas and the stars between it, beyond it, before it. As you see the light appearing to be thick and solid, and yet as you travel through space, there is nothing solid, not a single object. Just as you are transparent, continue to travel through time, as you would call it. But you're actually traveling through no time, as the creation of the mother which created you, the planet Earth, and you received the energy from far away, the light from the Father seed, put them together, and you came and concluded with this human reality of physical existence, traveling through no time. For the truth is, who was measuring when you came to being? Not you. Man was measuring his time. But you were not neither man nor woman nor human, but a minute yet expansive light that traveled into this body and gave it life. That is you, bringing in the energy of the mother and the father together, creating your complete existence. Your creativity, the possibilities of your thoughts. That anywhere you can go or be, the possibilities are as infinite as a multiverse. And I say multiverse because those of you who have heard of the universe believe that's the only existence. And of course, it says uni, meaning one verse, one version. But I speak here of the multiverse because you exist in other realities. As you can see, if you close your eyes, you will see the light, the vibration, the sound, the waves of existence that come flowing and becoming a part of your emotion, your feeling of this life that you have. That is like the multiverse, explosive, implosive, infinite, yet finite, loud sometimes, and silent at others, fast and slow, all opposites, where they all exist, gentle and rugged. All opposites always exist, like the mother and the father. In time, the activities and the thoughts here on earth, the same holds true. As you see the water and the fire formulating the clouds, the wind, and the earth, as they carry the seeds to another state of transformation, again creating another life form. Not to be confused with what you call the universe, what I call the multiverse, which out there life is being created in multiple forms that to this day we cannot measure, and maybe never, because sometimes we see things happen and wonder if the conscience affects the events, or if the events affect the conscience. And yet, we stand here, mobile, sometimes immobile in thought and curiosity, and wondering, is this real? Yes, it is. So we have a choice. You have a choice. How you wish to make your multiverse look or be. Here, you look out into space. You see multiple spirals in different colorations, planets, again, with different vibrations, and waves of traveling, rolling stones, rolling planets, rolling, spiraling, entities of stars like the Milky Way, all brothers and sisters, with enough space never to crash into one onto another. Yes, there's enough space for all of us. But we'll not ever live in peace if we don't work together. So we can, yes, also travel into another piece of space, and continue on, space enough for everyone, instead of using excuses to eliminate each other for our thoughts, for our philosophies, for our songs, for our religions, for our different ways. We all have to exist, even the good and the bad, because one teaches the other as they see one another and don't understand why. But if you stand in the foot of the other side, you'll understand. It's just another point of view. But in truth, we're all here to survive in a life form, as we call it. Just as every star, every planet, every spiraling entity, including the nebulous gases, the flashing asteroids, meteorites, or whatever it is that you see out there, is no different than the music that you hear with your ears, and it comes for a short moment and it's gone, like lighting a candle and making a prayer, or lighting a match and having a smoke. It's all a moment. Or having even a child, the conception of it, the thought of its existence, the enjoyment of it, the love between two different people, sometimes the anger is only a flash of a cycle of existence in space, and you call it time as you decide to measure everything from your point of view. That's quite all right. But here we speak of no time, because to release yourself from the in-present state of stress caused by fighting to do everything in time, you realize to live in no time. Because between time, there is no time. And in a period of no time, there is space and peace. And you just see, feel, hear, and sense in a different wave, a different vibration in this physical reality, in which you ask yourself, in this immensity that exists, how is it that I feel I've lived in hell? Well, that hell is your creation. Yes, we create our own reality. Life is an illusion. We can make it disperse into nothingness, something bright and beautiful. We create everything. Man creates everything. The ugliness and the weather, the cataclysmic changes, because everything is created through thought. Think about it. If you didn't have a head, you would not think. You would think you would not think. But quite possibly it's wrong, as you would be no longer what would you call alive in the physical sense, but disconnected. And the you who really exists, which is thought, would be out here in the ethers around you, around that physical existence, still watching and knowing that its work is over in a physical sense, and now it's in the mental sense, or the spiritual, or the conscious, or the subconscious, the sense of sending its message to someone else through the endless existence of space, whether it's in a microspace or a macro space, as you have a choice to become whatever again in the physical, if that is your desire, and continue to be, even if it's just a light form. And we would say too, a form of feeling you would emanate, or a form of love that you may wish to pass. Become even then another egg and be born again, a seed per se. And if you wish, and if you desire, a tree or an animal of sorts, or yet someone or something else, a being who, how do you know that a bee who lives to be a week before it dies and travel around the world in that time, in flight time, actually lived a lifetime that it actually feels to be 100 years old in its time? That is why we say there is no time. And here we speak of beyond time. Because beyond time is the existence of cycles, which is what we go through. And I ask you, this cycle of life, this physical life that you have come to, where are you going? What are you doing? What have you planned to do in this cycle, which you have decided to enter? We don't say time, because wherever you entered, you'll be there with your surrounding environment, learning it, understanding it, shaping it and reshaping it, transforming it. That's what we are. Transformers of life form into whatever our conscience desires. And we say hopefully to evolve in the positive sense, because that is our perspective of the travel, of the progression. Yet we look out into the sky and we see the darkness of the multiverse, and that which we do not understand. And we ask ourselves, where did it all begin? How much of it, or is there a good and a bad? And I ask you, in your gracious moments of reading time, how much time did these, what you see before your own eyes in the physical existence, how much time have these been out there? And if such be the case, do they register time? Or is it a figment of your imagination, this time thing that you have expressed, and why? Or who created it? And when you compress something too tight, what happens with it? Does it implode or explode after a certain point? The same thing with time. The more you put into time, the fuller it becomes if it's in one small space. In order to fit more into a small space of time, there's an explosion. In that point, in what you call time, your mind explodes. And we call that explosion a disintegration process of whatever it is that exists. In this case, you, your mind, your thoughts. Does that mean we no longer think? Or does that mean we have more space within space? It's a good question. So, or is it something that the body can no longer contain? And and it bursts or inflames, it becomes what we call ill, meaning not in regular state. The word ill means not. So it becomes not. Therefore, it's not in the physical anymore, or its normal state, becoming ill. And then finally losing its existence, because that's not the way it's supposed to be the physical as we understand, and die of what we call ill state. For if nobody's home, as we say, the lights are on, but nobody's home, everything goes into disarray, becomes chaos. Kind of like a government that exists and sits there and does nothing, lets everything go at its own flow. Eventually, there's no one to watch and make sure that everything flows smoothly and no one gets hurt. On the other hand, who's in charge? We have a collection of stars. They all keep an eye on each other. They don't crash into each other. Every now and then, one or two do, here or there. And being there so many, who knows by numbers, there are many, again, millions or billions of explosions out there going on simultaneously. And recreation of that seed that came together and created a new entity. And that's why we say everything's alive. Everything. Some people may think this is a philosophical expression, but many scientists will agree this is reality. In a different form, yet not proven by today's scientists, as we don't have and may never have the tools to measure the large vastness of the existence beyond us. That's okay. But we can use it as a mirror to understand ourselves, that we have many possibilities, and live as the multiverse does, the universe, whichever you decide. It lives in many realities. It lives together and yet apart. It creates multicolors and waves, signals, vibrations, songs. And yet, sometimes it appears to be so silent, so still, but only because it's so far. But as you would say, given the time, if you live that long, you would see it moves like everything else. And as many of you know, even in the elementary calculations of our scientists, we're barely realizing that a lot of what we see out there actually no longer exists. At least not in that form. Because the speed of light is so slow to the vastness of the existence that surrounds us. So we're actually looking at the past. But that's okay. Because what we see is a mass of messages coming toward us, showing us the growth, newborn of the past, of the mother, which has gone through a period of life extended itself to its future figure, whatever that may be as it changes. So you have the mother and the father right before your very eyes, making this change, showing you a reflection, as we say, that this Kalipoka in the sky, a mere reflection of the smoke, the smoky mirror, a mirror that you cannot see exactly what it is. You think you see it, and right before your very eyes, you realize it was the past. So it once was. And it allows you to ask yourself if you once were or you are real too. But that's not really what's so important. What's important is the story that these entities in space tell you is their story of how things went while they were alive, allowing you to look back at yourself and ask yourself, what are you going to do and leave as the flashing experience of your existence while you were here? Are you going to leave something beautiful or something horrendous? Something with love or something with trauma? Yes, we have a choice to make up our minds. And yes, we have had in the past many confrontations. I wonder if that is going to be a demise or if it's just a lesson for us to be stronger, for us to learn, to rebuild and reshape in a more colorful expression, like maybe perhaps the flowers, or to see even a flash of light burning before our very eyes as something that is full of energy in a positive sense. Yes, we have a choice. Even the stars, as we look at the images and they semi look like clouds up there, and we see different patterns because that's what we're seeing as the image of ourselves. It's a reflection because that's all we know. And we superimpose experiences upon anything that's around us. It's okay. It's normal. So we ask ourselves, how far do we go? But first, before we go anywhere, we have to relieve ourselves of all our fears. Travel forth and remember we're like the stars. Keep on going. When we travel between other stars, there's enough space. Keep your distance, as they say. Smile. Make your changes. Work with your brother as the stars work with each other. If you have a confrontation, yes, you'll see an explosion. And if you look up there, you don't see that many explosions, do you? You only see the light shining as it sings to you in its form, as it heals you, if you like, by receiving its light. as it calms you in your inner self, as you let those soft vibrations within your existence, as it makes you feel strong as you move through space, enjoying your peace, and realizing wherever you are, you're flying on your own, and you have the availability to decide to accept anything that comes your way, to deny it, to repel it, to accept it, transform it through communication, many forms of communication, pictorial, sound, light, giving love, many forms. Which would you like? So we travel, we move forward, letting the light shed upon us, remembering in our own little earth, we call the Father the Sun and the Mother the Earth. We give them thanks for leaving us a physical image of beauty, rich mountains, the snow as it falls, and the wind as it flows, and the earth as it rocks, and leaves different forms of beauty, the shape of the differences that exist, the shapes, the resultant movement of scraping, carving, the stones of the great canyons, the colors of the beautiful deserts, the rumble of the great oceans, the softness of the passing winds. And yet, too, the opposite still exists of each and all above. That's okay. Everything exists simultaneously. So those of you that wish to give answers to everything can only say it exists. And you have a choice to be that part, that side of the fulcrum that you desire. Think about it. Where would you like to be? Start changing your timeline of existence by ridding yourself of all the negativity of your past lifetimes in your lifeline, of all the past activities even in your present existence, and seeking for the future new light, a new life, positive one. Not for you, not for me, for those that come after us. Because that's why we work here. You might say, well, why? Why should I work for them? There's enough time to have fun and still work for them. Is what I'm speaking of. You don't have to kill yourself. You just have to love and enjoy in the process. You give thanks taking care of what's around you, whether it's your mother, your father, your brothers and your sisters, your uncles and your aunts, the trees, the animals, even the bugs, the birds, the wind, the earth, by all means, the earth, and your environment. Because all of that matters meaning that it affects the physical, and that physical change that happens creates something that you will feel. If not you, it will be those in the future. And it creates dark spots. That is because those were our thoughts. So now it's time to get off our computers or get on them and make changes. Not all the time. Make some fruitful changes. There's time for you to enjoy life still. But you have to do your part. Whoever you are, wherever you are, assist in making the changes. So that when you make the changes, all of a sudden before your very eyes, the beauty of the universe is created, of the multiverse of all the existences that exist simultaneously. As some people say, the 22nd dimension, the 5th dimension, whatever dimension you're in, and you see a different perspective. Ever consider that when the sun comes over and creates night during the day through an eclipse, that all of a sudden sometimes certain vibrations exist and you can see the, the light, the infrared light or the ultraviolet light changing or expressing or allowing the color to come from the flowers or the stones that you've never seen before. Everything lights up, even in the darkness. The perspective that is seen, and you know it, usually by the insects of the night, the animals of the night, so they don't crash into the thorns, but never find their food. Yes, we're not the only ones that can see the perspective of life in any form. They too see a different one because they are a different life form. Now you ask, well, why can't we have that? Simple, because you're given what you have to use it and learn how to use it. Once you learn that, you'll see, begin to see the other realities. And yes, you have the opportunity to give thanks. The way you'll give thanks by taking care of her, Mother Earth, Father Sky, Grandmother Moon, your uncles in the sky, whoever they may be, the clouds or another star, the ancestors, the lights way up there, the lives that have been here before. It's your choice. How would you like it? It's your choice. We'll see. It's all good. It's okay. You will see. There's beauty that exists. It's set before your very eyes. It was brought to you great transformation of no time. And the more you place yourself in no time, the more the colors will come to you. And you realize you have no stress, greater creativity, and endless visions of what you can do with your no time. This is who you are. So those of you that feel ill, let it go. Let go of those feelings, pain, those thoughts of turmoil of the past, the treachery, the thunderous moments of war and pain. Let it go. The mistreatment of life in itself by males, sometimes by females. Nobody's perfect. And the people fall short, treating their brothers right and their sisters. If we learn to forgive them and say, and then tell them, I forgive you, but no more. I will not allow this into my reality. If you don't come to my reality in peace and love, then guess what? You don't exist. And therefore you won't. This is how you get rid of it. That's why they're constantly trying to remind you of their existence. But it's up to you to realize the beauty around you. Those are your allies. All the beauty. Even the simplest of planets, the negativity is given to them in their existence. They are strong, multicolored, as beautiful as you are. Yes, we're all beautiful. We're all part of the existence of life, the multiverse. Together. Because we know that if we're inside, dark, just light grow. Without the black reflection, there would be no light. You wouldn't see it. Because everything would be too bright. So you need the dark and light. So think about it. Yes, we have much traveling to do, much repair to do, much learning to do, much to teach our children. Forgive them for their ills. Stand up and change. Change them. Help them. Help them change. First, you must forgive yourself. Because we're all good human beings. Just some of us been hurt in many different forms. It wasn't our fault. But you don't have to kill the person. No. Just let them know that you forgive them. They be different. decide they want to treat you well, and you're willing to work with them in your realm of business. If not, you have enough people around you that are beautiful. You want love, peace, and to live together, work together, make beauty for the future lives to come here and share this glorious space that we were born upon. Yes. Celebrate, have ceremony, let her know that we came here to bring light into the darkness, to let everything shine, to bring color where there is no light, to bring song where there is no song, softness where there's roughness, and waves of happiness, love for everyone and everything. So the flowers will be happy too, as they now receive the energy from us that they have given all their lives, their multiple lives. They've been here, back and forth, constantly reminding us that they were here. And did we listen? No, we didn't. Why didn't we listen? Because we were too busy doing whatever we were doing. It's okay. Time to wake up now and see another perspective. See all the beauty that is around you. Feel it, touch it, see it with your unseen eye. Some people call it the third eye. Some people call it the inner sense, the inner feeling. Close your eyes and feel what you see. Sense the seasons as they come and go. Sense the wind and smell it. Go out, smell it, and feel the cold, and feel the heat. Realize that you can both in order to create the life that does exist. And assist, but not overuse the earth's in a way. Because we're the caretakers of her, as I remember our ancestors told us. Yes, the mother and the father have always been here with you from all sides. The grandmothers have always been there, speaking to you, waiting for your voice, waiting for you to call them so they could tell you what to do, how to do, where to go, and to give life more than anything. Don't worry about death, it's going to happen. But death is not death as been advertised. Death is not much but transformation, which you will transform into another existence. And it's okay, don't fear anything. Because when you transform, you'll be out there with your brothers and sisters that have been here many times before you. And there's enough space for everyone. You'll see. Just like the pixels on your screen, there's space for every single one. Just like the microcosm, all the amoebas and microorganisms inside of your body, that they look out, they see a whole universe. And if your body dies, they're still there, and they still see a whole universe. And when your body transforms, they're still there, and with that transformation, they still see a whole universe. You're the same way. You're a little dot of energy that sheds one more spot of light upon the screen of your existence. Create shiny, beautiful colors that you radiate. We all choose what color we want to be. We don't all have to be dressed black. Think about it. There's colors to work on. With that, we say, we traveled a long way. When you're ready, you can come back to Earth in your rebirth of a new frame of mind, a new life, a new set of thoughts, as there are many. And look for more. For this, what I have said, is endless. And I tell you the truth. Endless. Infinite. Creativity is infinite. What would you like to create? You don't know what? Well, look at it this way. What do we need? Work on that for starters. Work what makes life easier for your brothers and your sisters. You can all create. It doesn't matter if someone created something already. There's more. And beyond that, there's more. More and more and more. There's always more. I'm not going to tell you about it. That's why you have your own thoughts, your own capability given to you as the mother and father of all existence. And your mother and your father too. Slowly keep flowing through time. In your physical life, as you call it. But remember, in no time, you can feel and see the expansion of existence. Beauty inside of everything that ever was. Along with the music that it puts forward. Why? Because you deserve it, and that's why you came here. So with this, I wish to thank you. You have been listening to Beyond Time at Glastonbury Radio 432 as we travel with the mothers and the fathers of the multiverse. You can contact me at ehecatezcalipoca@gmail.com. That is EHECATEZCATLIPOCA@gmail.com. I close with these words from my own teachings long time ago. Lasokamate, ipalemuane, ometeo, my brothers and sisters.